morning. This is on State of Florida versus Jamel Demons. Present is Mr. Demons. Mr. Demons, can you hear us?
With evidence now being prepped for the YNW Melly retrial on October 9th, the evidence found on YNW Melly's cell phone will be a focus point for the prosecution, as the evidence on YNW Melly's cell phone makes him look extremely guilty. Forensic evidence aside, the cell phone evidence was all gathered by Mark Moretti. How he gathered it, though, was very disturbing. To obtain YNW Melly's cell phone, he went directly to 100K Track, aka Melly's manager, telling Track to hand over YNW Melly's cell phone within 48 hours or be arrested and kicked out of the United States.
Did you, as a trained investigator, Jameson Francois to be deported to Haiti, even though he's been in this country since 5 years?
Yes, sir.
Did you, in fact, that he would not get fed and get any medicine in the jails?
I don't know about that in the conversations.
Do you think a witness who tells you something that you don't like really gets to the truth?
Objection or irrelevant.
Stay.
When you questioned Jameson Francois, were you alone or did you bring immigration officers with you?
We were at the Chrome Detention Center, so of course the immigration officer had to be there.
As that was YNW Melly's lawyer yelling at Mark Moretti for the most questionable police work that he's ever seen. Why this is so important is because 100K Track gave that lead detective Melly's phone in the end. He had no choice to, or else he would have been kicked out of the United States. That cell phone contains 90% of the evidence the prosecutors are using against him. On the cell phone contained incriminating text messages between YNW Melly and his girlfriend, if you read through the lines.
Moving on to Friday, November 9th, 2029, 20 UTC, 2018. Message from Melly, Montana to, again, that baby. What does that one say?
You don't with me anyways. I peeped it. You can slide, but God knows I wasn't in her and real breaking. You spoiled everything was given to you. You act like a some slide. I keep Orton with cuz at the
Not to mention the evidence found on YNW Melly's cell phone of him admitting to doing the crime against Sack Chaser and Juvie.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, I did that, and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly count says what?
After that, SHHHH.
And could you please stand and point on the right side of the screen exactly which part you're saying where the YNW Melly account says, I did that?
I did that. This is the thread ID. This is the text. This is the author. And this is the recipient. Then you come down here, same thing. The ID is for the actual message, which is just specific to that one message. Then the thread ID is the actual continuation, continued message.
As Mark Moretti would go through all of YNW Melly's personal photo albums, video albums, text messages, and even Snapchats, where he would also go on to find a saved Facebook Live video link that Melly had in his notepad. This Facebook Live reveals YNW Melly and Bortland's reactions 8 hours after the crime was done.
You see him? Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! But no, still turned. Regardless of what happened, you already know.
as Mark Moretti would continue doing questionable police work. This week, Jamie King, aka Melly's mother, sent in documents against Mark Moretti due to an incident between them. A statement this week would read, "We received a complaint by an attorney representing Jamie King. King is the mother of Jamel Demons, the given name of YNW Melly. YNW Melly's lawyers filed a motion in his case seeking Brady material against the detective. Brady material refers to information that could be used to question the integrity of law enforcement officers who testify in criminal cases." As it continues, details about the encounter between Melly's mother and Moretti were not available Thursday, with one exception. While the incident took place on October 12th, 2022, the complaint was not filed until this month, as allegedly YNW Melly's mother was called in for an interrogation with Mark Moretti. Once arriving to the police station, Moretti wanted Jamie King's cell phone for evidence that could be used against Melly. However, she was not giving it up. This then caused Moretti to get a little physical, trying to grab the cell phone out of Jamie King's hand. This then caused her hand to have a serious injury, as let me take you back 7 months. January 2nd, YNW Melly's mother and B-Slime were on a No Jumper podcast interview, as Jamie King can be seen with a cast around her hand. As Adam22 would ask what happened, she would answer mentioning a police officer was responsible for doing it, not wanting to get into full detail as she was saving this for the right time. And with YNW Melly's retrial looking pretty grim, she is now ready to make this public and help out YNW Melly in his case. The situation has become so bad, rap OG Boosie even shared this about Melly's mother.
Okay, so
then I met his mama while he was in.
Oh, okay.
I met his mom while he was in, and she real, bro. You know, she real.
She's stressed out. I heard she had a.
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him, cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good woman, bro. And when I see them mamas like that, it remind me of what my mom was going through, bro.
As Jamie King already had a huge involvement in YNW Melly's trial, however, the upcoming retrial will be even more involved. This is because Mark Moretti and the families of Sack Chaser and Juvie know to get the worst out of YNW Melly, you need to go after his mother Jamie King, which is exactly what they've been doing. As we learned, YNW Juvie's sister already reached out to Melly's mother, Jamie King, on social media.
What's been going on in the courtroom?
Well, Anjanette, it's been a very interesting morning. It did start off earlier with the defense bringing up an issue. Apparently, Juvie's sister posted on, I guess, one of the social media outlets, and she said that she was going to Jamie King, and so that caused a big, issue in the courtroom. It wasn't anything that we got on tape, but it did happen this morning. It was on the record, and she has a bodyguard now. So that was one of the first issues that the court dealt with this morning, and it was interesting because the judge did basically say, if you needed more security, I can get it for you. Ultimately, it was determined that the security she had, the bodyguard, was going to be enough. So
now, shout out to Reddit, because we had to do some digging to find the sister. Now, this is the sister, Ashley Monique. And let me show you the post that she had posted on Facebook, because, honey, it was quite the stir. So she posted this screenshot from Jamie King, YNW Melly's mother, and she said, "Pest control, who called about a..." Now, that was in regards to a post made by Trayvon Glass on his Instagram page, where he basically said that he's not worried about anything, and if he's come exterminate him. So in a nutshell, Melly's mom is calling Trayvon Glass a, and Monique replied back and says, "A is when you do something wrong and not take responsibility and then go and set somebody up because you're scared to lay down." She goes on to say, "That's not the case here. Fetty was Juvie's friend, not Melly. He was only around because Juvie brought him." Now in the comments, somebody says she better find something safe to do. Another person replied back and says, "Very well said." Another person tagged Jamie, and somebody else said, "Come get." Now, Ashley was in the comments and says she even has a bodyguard child. Another person replied and says, yeah, she need one because she's talking like she's 200 pounds and she ain't even pushing 100. Now, somebody else posted this and says she's going to need them because she's in the wrong city talking. Now, I think that when Melly's defense attorneys found this, they submitted it over to the judge and basically was like, Juvie's sister's out here Melly's mom. Now, the judge did state that if Melly's mom needed security, he would issue her security, and then he found out that she had a bodyguard, and that would be sufficient enough.
That social media interaction caused Melly's mother to have 24/7 security with her at all times during YNW Melly's first trial. This affected Melly in a massive way, as Melly would be seen asking his mother if she's okay while trying to comfort her during his own trial. This is then when YNW Melly would send in a request throughout his lawyers trying to have his mother get 24/7 security and to make sure no one can go after his mom. The judge would then grant all of Melly's wishes, making him very happy inside of the courtroom.
Jury entry.
However, things would just get worse for YNW Melly this week. Leading up to Bortland's trial on October 2nd, a week before Melly's retrial, we would now see lawyers putting together the important parts of his 2018 interrogation. As while the 4 YNW affiliates were leaving the recording studio, Bortland would explain the moments leading up to the drive-by.
Okay, tell me what happened.
Man, I was playing music, getting off the exit. I was already getting sleepy, almost home, you know what I'm saying? And like, just out of nowhere, like, I just heard, you know what I'm saying? So, and I ducked down, you know what I'm saying, in the car, and I almost crashed the car.
Let me back you up a few minutes. Where were you coming from?
I was coming from the studio, from Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale studio. Which way did you take?
I took I-75, 595 to
75.
Expressway.
Then you took 75 south?
As it's very clear to the officers, Bortland's story just isn't adding up to anything. Bortland is trying to stay as confident about his story, trying to make it seem the most realistic that it can. However, the officers would just end up catching him in his lie.
Here's the hard part where we're having a hard time to understand, is that we shut down that entire area and we had officers shoulder to shoulder walk it out. They didn't find as much as one shell casing. They didn't find one piece of glass. Nothing. Nothing to what you said adds up. And it's hard.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, that's like...
I mean, for whatever reason, your two friends, are these your good friends?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These my... Like,
these your two, I'm assuming close friends.
Yeah, we got...
And you're doing them an in-service by not telling us the truth.
I'm telling you the truth, sir. I don't, like, what do you want?
How do you make shell casings disappear?
I don't know. How can I tell you about a shell case?
As YNW Bortland is not budging from his original story, sticking to the script from the streets. Never snitch and never work with the feds. The officers continued to just get annoyed by Bortland. This is then when the officer would ask this.
Let's talk about why. Are you having issues with anyone?
I mean, we are upcoming artists and stuff, so people like, you know, when you like start doing better than people, they start hating and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
So you had some jealousy issues.
Yeah, it's like jealousy issues. But I haven't really been on there. But like he like my friend that's way now, God bless. He was telling me like about. He always telling me about how people just like today. He was telling me some folks from up our way.
What's up your way?
Like Vero
Beach.
Like that's where I used to stay. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up there. So that's our hometown. You know what I'm
So
saying?
what did your friend say about from Vero Beach? What was he saying to you?
He was saying basically just like they go on like Instagram, Facebook, like sneak.
As the officers now understand, the YNW Group is a music label with many artists in the area. It did seem as if there was a chance what Borland was saying is true. However, the interrogation would just go south, as YNW Borland would begin getting angry, as he could tell the officers are not believing his story about the crime.
I told y'all the story, and that's it, bro. I don't even want to talk about it no more. Like, cause I told y'all. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Okay, just so you know, all right, because you're saying, well, I don't want to talk anymore. There's going to be a lot more questions. There's, and we're not trying to piss you off. The thing is, we don't know your friends.
Yeah.
So the reason we have to ask all these questions, because the more we know about your friends, your lifestyle, your friend's lifestyle, your friends, his friends, and the circumstances surrounding today, the more, the easier it's going to be for us to try and solve this.
It's common when the criminal in the interrogation hits this point of the interview where he's refusing to talk and not wanting to discuss further. It is then the officer's job to reset the playing field. The goal is to continue asking questions, hoping either the criminal will mix up his own story without realizing, or even share different details than what he originally said, as the officer would then quickly reset the conversation. The police officer would then want details of the in-the-moment actions made during the drive-by.
And I'm driving, ducking for my life, trying to make sure I don't get hit. And you telling me, you telling me about shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. I'm driving. I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna be worried about? You know what I'm saying?
I know it's not for you to worry about.
Shit crazy, bro.
But if you tell me it happened there's got to be some evidence there. There's going to be broken glass, just like there's broken glass over here from when you guys opened the doors and stuff like that. Okay, there's going to be broken glass over there when the windows got out. There's going to be casings from the people at your car. Okay, there's going to be evidence over there. Okay, right now there's nothing. I kind of think I know what happened because I got information.
As with time running out in their allowed interrogation time, this is then when the officer would flat out ask, if you know who did this, would you tell me?
By just telling me the truth, even if it's something that I don't want to hear, but I respect the truth rather than BS, okay? And a simple question. If you knew who did this, okay? You may or may not know. If you knew who did this, would you tell me? It's either a yes or no question. Answer.
Honestly.
Yeah, honestly. The truth. You wouldn't?
Because I wouldn't want to be a part of that. I wouldn't want to be.
Where YNW Borland does not give a firm yes or no answer using his voice. Instead, he shakes his head side to side, referencing no. This is because if it was Melly who did this crime, saying no to the officer would have caused his voice to come out at a different volume than what he's been using, and that would be due to him lying, as that would then be a clear indicator to police that Borland knows a lot more than what he's sharing. However, the police already had a hunch that it was all a lie. As indicated earlier in the interrogation, there was no signs of broken glass, casings, or anything in the area, as this would later be proven as fact during the YNW Melly trial, as after the Jeep was investigated, it seemed as if this Jeep had no chance of going through a drive-by.
Assignment, which is to determine if this is a drive. And my determination was that this is not a drive-by, and it's based upon this picture here, which is a very good picture to describe it. All of these rounds are done. One is done at a stationary position. At a stationary position when all but one of these rounds are going in. The one round that has some movement in it, which is round site L here, the actually moving in that to create the little bit of a that you see there.
Okay, a lot of information in that answer, so let's break it down a little bit. You mentioned so I'm gonna zoom in on site F. Number, you said 17 outside the car. How many rounds were inside the car?
3.
And can you exclude the for Mr. Williams and Mr. Thomas as coming from outside of the car?
Yes. From the driver's side back seat.
As to the shot that Christopher Thomas, where did that emanate from?
Driver's side back seat.
Okay. Is it possible for there to have been 2 inside that car?
No.
Why not?
There is no time.